both sides of the conversation family. We welcome you to this virtual space crafted especially for you. My name is Jada Curry, and I'm both sides of the conversation's marketing director and graphics design specialist. I want to take some time to ground us all as a community into this space we are about to open up in, so let's go through our community standards. Both sides of the conversation is providing a safe and honest space for open conversation, so we ask that you all be respectful of that. We also ask that you be respectful of each panelist, host, and participant. We do encourage healthy debates and conversations. Don't personalize anything with anyone. This includes name-calling, bullying, trolling, or shaming. This will not be allowed or tolerated. Your perspective is yours. It is not a prescription. You do not have to agree, but show respect. These community standards apply to all of our live shows and any virtual spaces that we hold on social media, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to make sure that we are caring for each other as a community. This is our priority in all of our endeavors as both sides of the conversation. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's show and continue to stay in touch with us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or all of them. All right, thank you for listening and see you soon.
Welcome, everybody, to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Tuesday, so you know what that means. We have another segment of our Hidden Gems where we every Tuesday highlight our Black and brown businesses as well as community leaders and organizations that are doing positive things to impact our community. Tonight, we have a phenomenal hidden gem who is an author for our young folks, putting out books for our young folks. As you all know here at both sides of the conversation, we always want to be intentional and make sure that education is being pushed in our community. So we're excited to have tonight's hidden gem. With that being said, as you all seen the message today, we got to really work on the messaging around COVID. Today, I tested positive for COVID. Just want community to know that COVID is still real. It is still moving around through our communities. I've been on a call with a number of folks from the Department of Public Health and different things of that nature, and we are still getting COVID cases in our community. There has been a slight surge. And again, a lot of what's going on across the world with the war, a lot of those highlights are being taken away. But community, please continue to wear your mask, continue to social distance as COVID is still in our community and folks are being impacted by it. And I was one of those folks today, but I will do my part as a leader of the community to stay isolated, stay away from community until I get well. But again, it is still happening in our community. The number of test cases are increasing. So please be safe out there as you all are out coming up weekend and things of that nature. Just make sure you stay safe and wear your mask. With that being said, we just left an amazing Mother's Day weekend. Shout out again to all the amazing moms out there who do amazing things for our families. I know a lot of folks got out this weekend. There was a number of Mother's Day events going on across the Bay Area. Folks were just enjoying themselves. Nice to see all of the moms out celebrating and enjoying their special day. And, we're going to continue to impact our community with these type of events and make sure that we uplift the Black women in our community as well as our mothers. So just excited about that. There's a number of events that will be coming up that we're going to be getting out. There's a number of things that we're going to be doing at both sides of the conversation. So please stay tuned. A number of things that we're going to be doing to impact our community with this Dreamkeeper initiative and just some of the things that we're doing with some of our collectives. So we're just excited about that. Also around the world, some of the news that's going on, some breaking news that went out through the community yesterday that came out about the White House press secretary. The first LGBTQ person is in that role, Christine Pierre. She becomes the first person as a press secretary. This kind of excited for that community as more and more folks are doing stuff. I know Jean Paquet is going to be stepping down next week, and she's going to be coming in and filling that role. So just excited to hear about that news. Also, in Ukraine. As we talked about, the war is still going on. It's impacting us here in America. As you all see, the gas prices have went up again, and inflation is going up, impacting our communities, our discretionary funds. So please, community, be mindful, create your budget. Y'all know here at both sides of the conversation, we are always talking about budgeting, making sure our finances in order. As things are starting to get tighter, the stock market has been being impacted as well. As we move into these later months, they are saying that the gas prices will continue to increase over the next couple of months. So just be mindful. We might have to go back to walking to the grocery store or, taking some of these shorter trips so that we're not burning up gas. It is costing more and more for folks across this country to fuel, to get around and do the things that they are doing. Also locally here, 3 alleged gang members that has been charged with murder in the Sacramento mass shooting. The investigators believe that 3 of those 3 men were part of that shootout, that gang rival shootout that took place in Sacramento, up in downtown Sacramento. They have been charged. We'll keep community up to date of what's going on with those cases. Sad, unfortunate news, but it is going on, and we'll give you guys more information as it comes up. Also, great news, Dr. Dre is donating $10 million to his Compton High School for his new Performing Arts Center. He was always said that he's going to represent his city, and this is pretty cool. They're going to be building a $200 million campus for Compton High School kids. So that's pretty cool for the arts. As we always talk about in our community, the arts is a big part of the Black and brown community. So just happy to see that happening, and shout out to those young folks that's going to be able to be a part of that and go in there and be a part of those arts. Great stuff. Shout out to Dr. Dre for doing that. Also, some of the community events that are going on, they are still doing the community listening sessions hosted by the San Francisco African American Culture District. This is going through May 17th. So now through May 17th, at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., participants will receive a $25 gift card. They are trying to find out information from community about some of the arts. The African American Culture District is trying to do things to impact our community this summer. So please check out those listening sessions and make sure that your voice is heard. Also, Health of the Black Community, the SFARRAC, on May 9th, they had the sfreparations.org. More community health stuff going on as we are continuing to do the mental health during this month and to continue health in our community. So just looking forward to that. Also, the Alonzo King Lines ballot, Hearts with the Lines, are still looking for community folks, for interns to come in. The deadline to sign up is June 1st, and we're looking forward to the community being a part of it. If you know any young folks or any people that want to be a part of that, we'll put the information up on the screen as well. Also, the SF Rebel sports team and STEM summer camp is taking place. They're having a number of sessions that's going to be taking place all summer. Shout out to our guy, Nate Ford. June 6th through July 22nd, they're going to be having it at Gateway High School. If you would like to get your young folks involved, please go to sfrebels@1990@gmail, and we'll get that information up on the screen. The Marsh Youth Theater presents Voices of Youth that are taking place Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. through June 12th. San Francisco residents may receive a $250 stipend upon completion. Please reach out to Rebecca, and we'll get her information up on the screen as well. Also, the Invest Black and Youth Comedy and Award Show is happening August 13th. It's a little bit ahead of time, but wanted to make sure that we get that out for our Invest Black folks. If you want to go to that comedy show and award show, please go to tickets on Eventbrite and look up for the Invest Black and Youth Comedy Show, and we'll be putting more information out to community as we get close. Also, here at both sides of the conversation, some of the information that is coming out, we are still searching for volunteers and folks who would like to help out and support the work that we are doing out in the community. We are looking for folks who got talent, skills. Please reach out to us on our website at www.bothsidesofbsotc.org. Definitely you could do something. So many people are always talking about, how do I get connected? How do I get involved? We have some areas that we need some support, and you could come help and give back to community. Also, we could get support from community. If you go to your Amazon Smile and sign up for Both Sides of the Conversation as one of the charitable organizations, every time you purchase something on Amazon, 0.5% of your purchase, no extra cost to you, will go to Amazon, and they'll help support our organization as we are continuing to build financial capacity to do the work that we do for community. Also, make sure you follow us on all our social media handles at Both Sides of the Conversation. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter, please go on our newsletter, sign up, see some of the events and things that are going on. There's a number of stuff that's going on in community. And again, we want to make sure everybody is knowing where the resources is and how to connect. So many people yesterday for the reparation calls were complaining about information, not knowing where the meetings are. And we're going to continue to do our part to make sure we get that out to community. With that being said, enough of me. I'm going to shut my mouth and go ahead and bring up our hidden gem for tonight, Miss Chrislyn Diggs. She is an author, a book writer. We want community to get behind her and support her. We love supporting our Black businesses and our Black authors. So with that being said, I'm going to bring up Miss Chrislyn.
Hi, John. Hi, Hidden Gems. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Crystalline Sanders, and I am a children's book author here in the Bay Area, born and raised in Sonoma County, Northern California. Last year, I wrote a children's book called Where Hands Go. It is an introduction to safe and unsafe touch, designed to help be a conversation starter between children and parents. I wrote the book because January of last year, my family unfortunately was impacted by a child reporting sexual abuse. And I want to join the fight and raise awareness against sexual abuse. I think these conversations are important to have specifically in the Black community and communities of color. Here's the book. It's called Where Hands Go. And you can purchase this book on Amazon.com. You can also go to my website, ksdiggs.com, and get yourself a copy of the book. I tell parents to talk to their children early and often about sexual abuse. 1 in 6 girls are sexually abused before the age of 18, and 1 in 20 boys. And with that said, I also have a boys version of the book. It's called Where Hands Go as well. And then this is just a boy character, so our young boys can also relate to the character as well. The book is translated into Spanish, Japanese, as well as French. And so if you speak a different language or know somebody who speaks a different language who definitely needs to have this conversation with their child, you can also purchase the book as well. Aside from that, I did start a nonprofit organization called Kids Again Foundation. And the organization is designed to help children who are victims of sexual abuse heal. And through that healing process, we'll sponsor their participation in extracurricular activities. And that is to hopefully get them to become kids again. And by getting out there in the community and participating and being around other children their age, they're able to feel like a kid again after something so traumatic has happened to them. So if you could support, that would be really beneficial. Following the release of my first book, I got the writing bug, and I started writing children's books because a staggering statistic came to me, and it was that less than 11.9% of books are of children of color. And I want my child to have a library filled with books of children of color that he can relate to. And I want children in general to have books that they can relate to. So I started writing. Another book that I wrote is called The Light Within. And it teaches children that there is a light that shines bright within them and how to find that light. And this is also available on my website. John talked about something really important. He talked about wearing your mask as the cases of COVID have been on the rise. I do have a 2-year-old, and getting him to wear his mask has been very difficult. So I wrote a book. It's called Wear Your Mask with Pride. And it encourages our children to wear their masks. It makes the virus real, and it depicts germs and bacteria and viruses so that children can see why they're wearing their masks, because there are these unseen things, unseen viruses, unseen bacteria that can make them very sick. And so Wear Your Mask with Pride is also available on my website, ksdiggs.com. From there, I wrote a book called Invisible Me. Statistics shows that implicit bias against children of color starts in preschool, meaning that teachers automatically categorize children of color as bad or naughty, or they're prejudiced against them, or they refuse to call on them in class, or what have you. And this is called Invisible Me. It's about a story about a young girl who is ignored by her teacher, feels ignored by her students around her, and is wondering, is she invisible? If she disappears, will anyone notice? And I want kids to know that even if you do not feel seen, you are not invisible. Your voice matters, and you matters, and who you are matters, and your voice is worth something. Your voice means something. And so this is called Invisible Me. It's also available on my website. The next book that I wrote, and it's actually my newest book, it's called A Girl Named Rainbow. Children of color often have very unique names. As you know, my name is Crystal Lynn Sanders Diggs, and I was teased for my name. I was made fun of. A gym teacher told me, wow, Black people have such unique names. And I want kids to know that if you have a unique name, or you don't like your name or what have you, your name has meaning. Your name may be cultural, it may be religious, it may have a specific meaning that your parents have and a reasoning for naming you. Love your name, love who you are, love your culture, love your background, love your religion. So this follows the story of a little girl who was bullied because of her name, and she learns to love her name because she loves her culture, and she finds out the meaning of her name and through that journey. This is also available on my website, my newest release, A Girl Named Rainbow. I also have another book to share with you. I got the bug to write, and yes, this is all stories that I've written in the last year. And it's been an interesting journey becoming an author, and I love it, and I've fallen in love with it. So this book here is called Curves Like Mine. And I grew up heavier and chunkier and bigger and taller than all the other kids in my classroom. And I wish that I had a positive affirmation, or someone just said, love yourself, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. So this here has positive affirmations in it, and it encourages children who are just look a little bit different to love your body. Your body is yours and it's beautiful. Love yourself the way you are. And this here is called Curves Like Mine. The next book in my series, you know, I had to do something regarding hair. So this here is called Shrinkage, Maya's Magical Hair Journey. And it's about a little girl who thinks that her hair is magic because it could do so many different things. She can have braids, she can have bantu knots, she can have puffs, she can have almost any style that her heart desires. But she wants to get her hair flat ironed. And she gets her hair flat ironed, and she wonders, will her curls ever come back? Because she realizes she misses her coily, kinky hair, and she loves it. And so just like magic, with a little bit of water, her curls do come back, and she loves her hair and she loves her curls. So this here is called Shrinkage, Maya's Magical Hair Journey. This is also available on Amazon.com as well as my website, ksdiggs.com. I just got a couple more. I have this one here that I wrote is called Boogie the Strong Booger. It educates children about the importance of having boogers. With COVID and with germs and bacteria, I want children to know that boogers are good for you. Boogers are important. They help protect you from viruses, bacteria, dust, mold, pollen, and different things that try to get inside your nose through your body and make you sick. And so this here follows the journey of Boogie, my main character, who has a job to do. And his job is to keep kids safe from viruses and bacteria. But he wants to be left alone to do his job. And Boogie does not want to be eaten alive. So kids find this book funny and educational and entertaining at the same time. And this here is called Boogie the Strong Booger, and it's also available at my website. My last two books are Stinky Feet, and this is for the little ones. I would recommend this book for ages 0 through 3 and sometimes 4. And this follows the story of a little boy who has the stinkiest feet, and the whole family's in on the joke that baby has stinky feet, and it's all, what's that I smell? Stinky feet. And so this follows the story of a little boy with stinky feet, and actually it follows the story of my son, who thinks it's funny that he has stinky feet. I don't know, maybe it's a boy thing. And then my last book, which hasn't been released yet, and I'm really excited to share it with you. This is my next release. It's called Sweet Boy. It's called My Sweet Boy. And then this here, I tell you, I have the sweetest little baby boy. and he's kind and he's caring. And I think it's just a beautiful relationship that a mother has with their sons. I don't have a girl yet, so I'm sure I'm going to have an amazing relationship with her as well. At least I hope. So this here is called My Sweet Boy, and it's about the love that a mother has for her son. Her son is kind, he's caring, and he's sharing, and he's just the sweetest little boy. And so it follows their family, and it's so sweet. And so this here is will be available in the next couple weeks. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, and also sign up for my newsletter for the drop of this book. And I am so excited to share it with our community. And obviously, all of my books feature children and families of color. And yeah, this here is called My Sweet Boy, and I am so excited to drop this book. So you heard it here first. My next release, newest book, My Sweet Boy.
Wow, phenomenal stuff. We'll bring Tony up, and I know she have questions. I mean, I think that is cool because when we talk about literacy and we talk about the importance of education for young folks, being able to identify with young folks who look like them. When we read books, when I came up, it wasn't a lot of Black books, and it's amazing to see the amount of authors out there who are putting out Black educational books. I think parents spending time with their kids to read 30 minutes a day. But the kids actually seeing actors and folks in the book that look like them is very powerful, instrumental stuff. So just great. And I'm happy you writing all these books because, again, they try to say that Black girl magic don't be happening. It looks like you got a lot of Black girl magic going on over there. So, that's cool. But I'm going to bring up Tony, see if Tony have any questions. And then one other thing, I thought was very interesting that you talked about when we talk about sexual abuse and things of that nature. These numbers that you're talking about are increasing in our community. And sometimes as parents, single parents, especially in the Black and brown community, we are impacted. And sometimes the mothers are the ones who are responsible. They can get busy. How do you approach those conversations and get your young folks to engage and not just think, because we've been seeing a lot of news stories of young folks, young children and daycares being attacked, different things happening. How do we really inform our community as parents to be open and listen to our young folks when they're saying things so that we can be attentive and things of that nature?
Great question. When I released this book, a lot of parents had questions. They didn't know how to approach this conversation with their children. They weren't educated with the facts to know how to just broach this topic. It's a very difficult topic to tell your child that there are such things as bad touch or inappropriate touch. So what I've done with my book is I've included definitions, educational resources, facts, and statistics about sexual abuse. Also, a guide in here for questions to ask your child to make sure that they're understanding the topic. I've also included an introduction that I hope that parents read prior to reading this book to their child. It's a very difficult subject and it's a very difficult topic. And my hope is that this book, it's got fun Disney-like characters. My hope is that it's easy enough for the child to read and understand, but also provides enough information in here to educate our community, our parents out there, teachers, daycare centers, what have you, with facts and statistics, hard statistics and hard statistical information about sexual abuse.
Wow, very important information. And then, since you're advocating these books, how do we get our parents involved in some of this stuff at the level of parenting groups and things of that nature so that we can advocate to get your books into the schools so that we can have this stuff and, community. She's a local here in the Bay Area. So, we definitely want to get behind and support her. But, we go to these parent meetings and these parent associations, and we're not seeing, the amount of Black books in our school. So how do we get our community engaged to reach out to authors like you and make sure that these type of books are in our schools and access to folks in their homes so that we can continue to bring up our kids the right way?
Thank you. The best way to get more books like mine and Black books into your schools, your local libraries, is to contact your local library. If you're at the library with your child, ask, for the Black book section, the Black children's book section. If there isn't one, you can also request a book. There are forms online where you can request the books be added to the library. You just type in the book that you would like to request, the author, and they will actually go and purchase it from the author. You yourself, if you find a book from an indie author that you love and you want in your local library, you can purchase it and donate it to your local library as well. Contact your school board, let them know you have a book recommendation, talk to your child's teacher, and let them know about the book as well. It's also about you and taking the book and the information and spreading the word, spreading the message. Yeah.
Definitely, that's great information, and we're going to do our part here. We're going to purchase some books. I have a 6-year-old granddaughter, so I definitely want her to read these books. So we're going to go ahead and pick up some of those books here at both sides of the conversation and make sure my grandbaby, some of these young folks get it. Great age range to get our kids engaged with reading. I think it's so important in our community, building up literacy, and just making sure that our young folks can comprehend and read. So many times in our community, our kids are being missed when it comes to their education advancement. The last 2 years sitting in COVID, so many of our kids in the community wasn't able to access Wi-Fi, didn't have the support services that they need. So a lot of community folks are saying our babies are a little bit behind. And what a way to kick off that reading and literacy with some of these amazing books that you have for our young folks. With that being said, Tony, you want to ask any questions?
Oh my goodness. First of all, hi, thank you for being here. I'm Tony Rochelle, one of the co-hosts of Both Sides of the Conversation. And I was just listening to everything you were saying backstage. And first off, those books are so beautiful and amazing to look at. It really touched my heart because I know growing up myself, I wasn't reading books with people that look like me, And I have a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I know that they will love those books, and we're definitely going to support. But I don't know how I feel about those boogers are good. Okay, I need to hear more on why these boogers was good. I know I got to get the book to read it. I know that's what you want me to do, but you got to tell me, where did that come from? A little bit of it.
Yes, boogers are good for you. Your body naturally produces them to protect you and to trap viruses, bacteria, pollen, dust, anything that you breathe in through your nose, they get trapped inside your boogers. And they're good. So they're a benefit. Your body doesn't make them for no reason. They have a reason, they have a purpose, and that's to keep you safe. However, because boogers are filled with so much bacteria that they've tracked, they're not so good to eat, and they can actually make you sick. So it's important to teach our children about the importance of not eating their boogers because they're filled with bacteria. So
that stood out for me, along with everything else that you said. I know a lot of people they want to get into writing. They want to get into the groove of doing what you're doing. And one of the questions I have for you, what is one of the advices that you used when you decided that you was going to become a writer?
TikTok. Believe it or not, TikTok. There is a writing and author section of TikTok. You can find a lot of educational resources like the Author Hive and different types of organizations designed to help indie authors and authors of color, provide them with information and resources and step-by-step guides to becoming an author. Also, you can find somebody to mentor you, help you through the process. Who did they go through? How did they navigate becoming an author? I myself get asked a lot of questions. How did you start? How did you start? Who do you go through to publish? And so I started consultations. So you can go to ksdiggs.com if you would like a consultation. You can ask me any type of questions you want. My journey, who I go through to publish, where I print my books, how do I find my illustrators, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. So it's ksdiggs.com/consultation.
Wow, very powerful stuff. Go ahead, Tony. You got anything else?
So if you could tell the younger you as a writer, that this is what your journey was going to be, your destiny, like, what would you tell yourself? Because I'm proud of you. This is phenomenal for what you're doing for our community.
Thank you so much. I would tell the younger me to stay in school. I mean, she did. I have 3 bachelor's degrees. I have a master's degree. But I would just say, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep persevering, keep fighting, keep getting up every day, keep going to class. It will happen. It will happen for you.
I have one more burning desire question, because I see that all your books was, for us, right? Mm-hmm. But if you had to choose like a spiritual animal or like a mascot or something to go with your platform of books, what would that be?
Ooh, great question. I'm a tiger. I attack everything I do with vigor and with force, and so I'm definitely a tiger, and so that would be my spiritual animal. I'm a tiger. I tackle everything I do, and I make sure I get it done. Check.
Yes, Black Girl Magic. Yes, I love it. I love it. I was hoping you say that, and you said it.
Yeah, well, I said that you said the tiger. I was gonna say the lion because I am a Leo, so I thought you was gonna say the lion, but we'll take the tiger. They all big cats, big dreams, big things happening, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
So
go ahead, T.
you had a lot of other deep, conversations that you were speaking on with, being abused and things like that. And sometimes in the Black community, let me ask you this, is that we have this stigma of like being molested in our own family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times those things are pushed under the carpet back in the day because you don't talk about business like that. You don't bring that up. That's not what we do in our community. You keep going and you act like it didn't happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so let me ask you, like, with this new generation of group of people that's out right now, that's so free and so courageous, and they talk about, they be whoever they want, they have questions, they changing up the game, right? So if you had situations in your family where this has occurred, and this has occurred over and over and over again, and it's just been swept under the carpet, what would be your advice to like give that, if you had this young cousin, let's say you had a cousin that was in your immediate family, and this was occurring in the family, and she got answers for you. She got questions for you, because she want to know the ins and outs of the holes of like why uncle can't be around auntie and cousins can't go to grandma's house, and why you don't talk to the family that's in the South and you live in the North, and you know what I'm talking about without going into detail. What kind of advice would you give someone like that?
Absolutely. So the majority of children and people are abused by someone they know. That could be the deacon of the church. That could be their stepfather. That could be uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters. Most sexual abuse happens to a child by someone that they know. It is not an unknown. Unfortunately, it's not a stranger. So I would recommend to that person who has or is being sexually abused, or who knows somebody, or who wants to stop the cycle of sexual abuse, join the fight, speak up, and educate yourself about sexual abuse and how to stop it in its tracks. The first step is education and awareness and speaking up about it. And that's why I'm so vocal about my family's journey about it. And my hope is to stop the cycle and to help other people and families heal. And it's the first step is speaking up, though. Yeah.
Wow, very powerful stuff. And that's what we want to do here. Our part of both sides of the conversation is making sure that we have those difficult conversations, sometimes those taboo conversations, sometimes the stigma conversations in our community that impacts us. If sexual abuse is real, we need to have that conversation. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. We need to make sure that we talk about those traumas, some of the things that's impacting us in our community. We know hurt people, things happen, but how do we address it? How do we intervene is definitely a question that's always asked. And I hope through your books with parents, being able to have those soft, gentle introductions and not being frustrated, being able to listen and understand and pay attention and be aware. Sometimes we get so busy that we're just not paying aware, but our young folks are talking to us. We have to connect with them. We have to make sure that we are paying attention to their movement and their vibrations and understand some of the body language and attitudes and different things could be tied or, attached to certain things. And we just, as parents in our community, have to definitely find a way to tap in and tune in. So, great panel information tonight with all your books. I mean, I thought you was gonna pull out 6. You put out the whole catalog. I thought that was like a production there. So definitely community. There's a number of books that you could get out and support. We have our website up there on the screen. Please get out there and support. If you have young nieces, young brothers, young sisters, young kids, 2 to 10 years old, please reach out and pick up one of these books. Let's support this queen. That's what we all about here at Both Sides of the Conversation. This is what this Hidden Gem segment is about, making sure that our business owners, make sure our authors, folks who come on here, we get behind them and patronize their businesses, spend our dollars black, uplift our community with economical power. And that's what we're going to continue to do here. Chrislyn, great to have you here. Before we let you go, if there's anything that you'd like to say to the community, any shout outs, any folks that help you, please give your last parting word before we end tonight's segment.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank you, and thank you so much for everyone for having me, and thank you so much for the support. I just want to thank everyone here, and thank you to the entire community. Thank you.
Definitely. And we will be picking up some books. So you will see Both Sides of the Conversation purchase. One of the things that we are committed here, anytime we have our Hidden Gem businesses come on, our authors, we always support them. And I see my brother Dante King on there, and I know I'm supposed to be at his book signing tomorrow, but because of COVID, I'm in the house, brother Dante King. But I will catch up with you to get your book signed. And again, plenty things that we got coming up. But Tony, you want to say anything? Give any parting words to community? In this Sunday community, we are going to be talking about some mental health stuff. So definitely tune in. We're going to have some phenomenal folks that's coming in. And if you want to be a part of that conversation, please go to our website, sign up for this Sunday's conversation as we're going to continue to talk about mental health, wellness in our community. Why is it not the priority? Why is it at the bottom of the list in the Black community when we know this is the number one issue impacting our community? So looking forward for that this Sunday. But Tony, go ahead and give us some parting words.
Just want to say thank you again for coming on and being vulnerable with, your story and sharing your books, and everything that you're doing for the community is beautiful. And I can't wait to put my hands on the books and read them. Just thank you. And just remember, everybody, it's Mental Health Month, and we just really, really have to make it a daily situation in our life to take care of ourselves. We have to teach ourselves to take care of ourselves because we're not used to that. And so I just want to offer everyone to take care of yourself.
Man, definitely very powerful stuff. Community, thanks for tuning in tonight for this Hidden Gem segment. Thank you all the community folks who've been reaching out, checking in. I'm a tough guy. I'm going to show up no matter what for my community, for my people, even during this COVID process. I'll be back on the ground stumping soon, but thank you all for reaching out, checking in on me, making sure that I'm okay. This Sunday, we're going to have this Thursday, we're going to have another educational Thursday. We're going to be talking about some finance and literacy stuff as we're going to continue to our commitment to our community. As we promised you all at the start of the new year, Both Sides of the Conversation will continue to bring the education awareness of financial literacy, mental health, and health in our community. And we're going to continue those conversations. So this Thursday, we're going to have another segment. We got some phenomenal folks coming back on to talk about money because we all know right now what's going on with gas, inflation, and a number of things that's impacting us. We have to be smarter with our money, and we have to know what we're doing so that we can elevate our families and our community because things are getting tighter. And this Sunday, me, Tony, and a number of other folks will be on talking about mental health. If you would like to be on the panel, you want to talk about it, if you have a mental health background, you want to talk about some of these things, please sign up on our website for our Sunday conversation as we're going to talk and start dabbling into more on mental health during this Mental Health Awareness Month because we want to know, why is our people not getting these services? Why are we not putting this on the top of our list? The only way we can change our community is we have to go do the work, dig deep. And that's what we're going to continue here as we are continuing to change the narrative from our voices in our community. We want it to be heard from us. And what a way to do it this Sunday as we're going to talk about mental health in the Black community. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Be safe out there, community. As more and more communities being impacted with this water drought, do your part. Shut off your grasses, and different things. Be mindful of your showers as California is in a drought. I know there was some spots of rain today, but more and more counties are being impacted. So please, let's all do our part in solidarity to help conserve water. So this summer, we all can have water and showers and things of that nature, especially for our elders in the community. Do your part, be part of the change, and let's make sure we impact our community. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you all this Thursday for another segment of our Educational Thursday. Be safe out there. We love you. And Kristen, you'll see this, the orders coming through for the book from Both Sides of the Conversation. Have a great evening.